speech all about me, I actually learned a lot about myself. It actually scared me. Things I learned, I thought, I don't want to share with these people yet. I just learned it myself. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to deal with these things. So I decided that I was going to share a story, my most embarrassing moment of my life. I have 6 brothers and sisters, so it's something that happened within my family, and you can imagine over the 20 years they've never let me forget this. It's just the story that never dies. This was one weekend, I have 3 sisters. I had one that lives in Florida, one that lives in Australia, one that lived in Portland with me at the time. We decided we were going to fly to Florida for the weekend to visit my sister in Florida for just a long weekend. And we had just talked about how, we decided at the last minute, so we knew we didn't put a lot of planning into it. We got a great deal on a value jet flight out of Lansing, and we decided that, geez, it would be really great if my sister from Australia could meet us there. But knowing that would be a little bit impossible for her to fly from Australia for a short weekend. So this was a Friday night. My sister Phyllis and I climbed on the plane. We were probably 3/4 of the way back in the plane. And probably 3/4 of the way through the flight, we're looking at the woman in the front row of the plane. It looked almost exactly like my sister Debbie. Well, it did look exactly like my sister Debbie. She was jumping up because she had a small child next to her, a little blonde boy. My sister Debbie had a little blonde boy. She had Debbie's hair, she had Debbie's hairstyle, she had Debbie's mannerisms, her figure, everything. And so you can imagine that my sister Phyllis and I, we were causing a big commotion back here. So is that Debbie? Oh, I think it's Debbie. And consequently, we were getting everybody involved around us in our little frenzy. So finally, we went back and forth about, you go up there. No, I'm not going, you go up there. And finally I said, it's her, I'm going up there. So I began walking to the front of the plane. Everyone is watching me. I walk to the front of the plane. I walk up to Debbie. It was Debbie. I say, Debbie! And I kid you not, I'm this close to her, I still think it's Debbie. Oh. Until she had the look of terror on her face. The look of terror. Like this. It was a surreal moment because I looked next to her at this little boy. He had a Sydney, Australia t-shirt on. Oh my goodness. That's where they live. Oh my goodness. So it was, you can imagine the people in the back of the plane are watching this going on. As they can't hear a word I'm saying, but they know by my mannerism that I have just really made a fool of myself. Because I'm like, they can see me doing this, I'm so sorry, apologizing, and I just sort of slinked my way back to my seat to see Phyllis, my sister, crying, tears of laughter running down her face. People all around are laughing because I've just hugged the strange woman at the front of the plane that was not my sister Debbie. So what did you learn about me? Well, you learned I have 6 brothers and sisters. I don't always think before reacting. Did I really think that ValueJet flew from Australia to Florida? No. If Debbie really was on that plane, I just wrecked her surprise by going up there and hugging her. I can laugh at myself, and finally, I like to hug strangers.